Welcome back to our podcast, Don't Chew With Your Mouth Open. Thank you for listening in, and I hope you've been enjoying our previous episodes. As you are well aware, we are working on our road to 1,000 subscribers. So please like, share, and comment on what we are sharing. And if you have anything you'd like us to speak to or speak about, please share in the comment section. I hope you enjoy the episode. Welcome to our episode of our podcast, Don't Chew With Your Mouth Open, where we'll discuss business, economics, finance, investments, and wealth creation for the global south. Recently, I had the opportunity to attend the chairman's conversation. This is a conversation hosted by Mr. Given Mkari and sponsored by Power FM, Capricorn FM, and Shumana Group. He holds an annual conversation with leaders within our country, which allow him to ask those deep questions and opportunities to question these leaders on issues that may not necessarily be accessible for us to ask. This year, he hosted Adrian Gore, the founder and CEO of Discovery. It was a fascinating conversation, and I would encourage you to look for it on YouTube if it's available. One of the things, though, that Adrian said, which I thought at the time was obvious, and after applying my mind to it, I thought it was important to share. He said, confidence drives investment. Confidence drives investment. Now, on the face of it, it actually sounds rational and logical. But when we dig deep into it, we have to ask ourselves, what does confidence mean? It's a belief in someone or something. That's why when someone says, let me take you into my confidence, their view is they trust you, they know you, and they have a view that you will maintain and keep the integrity of what they've shared with you. And that's an outstanding thing to say, that when we are in a scenario where we struggle to raise money, where we are unable to attract investors, it is a confidence issue. The individuals who hold that capital do not have a feeling or a belief in what you are doing or in who you are. This is why when we call someone a con man, what we mean is they are a confidence man. They resonate the right signals to those with money and attract that money, albeit for nefarious reasons. The Ponzi scheme was named after an Italian man whose surname was Ponzi, who was then called a confidence man. He was able to create a belief in himself and in the system he was building to attract and continue to attract inflows of money. He created a false narrative that gave people a belief, and inevitably, like all Ponzi schemes do, they collapsed. Bernie Madoff, exactly the same. He created over the course of 40 years confidence within the financial system that what he was doing was legitimate. What he was doing was sound, and he therefore could attract large amounts of money into his fund. And these are the things which we continue to need to address within our community. How do I provide ethical and sound confidence to individuals with capital and attract that capital to myself, to my projects? And therefore, confidence is the driver of investment. If we look across the board, no matter where you are, you look at a long-term venture like the Gautrain, as long-term as it is, the people who have put the money into allowing the Gautrain to be constructed are confident or have the belief that they will have a return. Therefore, the money was lent. How did they structure that belief? They got what they call a government guarantee. They got a 94% government guarantee. So the state of South Africa said to the investors, if this thing defaults, 94% of your money will be returned to you. Therefore, providing confidence, a belief and a feeling that the Gautrain and those who are building and constructing and operating it will do the job to repay. And this again is our role as entrepreneurs, as individuals who are trying to raise money for projects and for our businesses. We have to understand that the individuals on the other side require confidence. They need to know or have a strong belief that you will do what you say you will do, and your business will strive to achieve what it will strive to achieve. How does one build confidence? Track record. You've done it before. Integrity. You have shown character. Credibility. You have the ability, the aptitude. You've gone to the right schools to assist you to do what you're saying you will do. If you have studied as an accountant, looking to do something technical like engineering, the funder will not have confidence, because although you've gone to the right schools, you've created a track record in your current employment, what you don't have is a track record or credibility in the thing you want to do. So what happens in those scenarios? You bring in a co-founder, one with the technical expertise that then provides the funder with confidence. If you want to know why it is you're struggling to attract investment into your business, into your project, into your startup, it is the funders lack confidence. Now, confidence varies by jurisdiction. There are certain jurisdictions where capital is so much that the risk appetite is also so much. There are environments like ours where capital is such a preserved gift that you have to go through a lot of hurdles to prove that you are worthwhile of its receiving. So what are we saying? We're saying that there is a way to provide credibility to yourself, to your project, to your investment opportunity. And the way to provide that credibility is by driving belief. Belief is driven by ensuring that the individuals who are providing you with the capital understand what it is you're trying to do, your ability to do it, your track record in attempting to achieve it, and how it is they're going to receive a return on their investment. This was outlined by Laurie Dippener at the chairman's conversation. He walks through the conversation he had with Adrian Gore when Adrian Gore approached him with this medical aid savings, which was different from the medical aid scheme. He then gave the view of how this product was going to be disruptive in the market. And at that time, R&B had a dormant insurance license. And Adrian Gore was able to convince them through his credibility. What was his credibility? His time at Liberty, him being a qualified actuary, his ability to sell his idea, not just to Liberty, but also to the R&B founder, Laurie Dippener, and to also the view that he was able to actually take skin off his back and put it in the game. So the R&B founders gave him 3 months. They paid him a salary for 3 months to design the product. He's knowledgeable of the sector, he understands it, and was able to design the product. He was able to price that risk and was then given a pathway to sell it. That was what drove confidence. And that confidence drove the investment, and today we have discovery. The same applies to each and every one of us. Whatever investment you receive, whether financially or advice or in any other form, it is a result of the confidence that individual has in you. Your mentor, if you have one, is able to sit down and provide you with that investment of time, with that investment of advice, because they have a belief in you, your work ethic, your ability to achieve, your ability to strive, your ability to want to do more. That has given them a belief, a confidence, a faith that what they're saying to you will be valued and will be valuable, and you will go about the business of executing it. So, if you lack investment in your life, if your friends don't invest in you, if your family doesn't invest in you, if your peers can't invest in you, the question you've got to ask yourself is, what am I doing to drive the lack of confidence they have in me? What habits, what disciplines, or lack of discipline have I presented to them that shows them that they cannot believe in me? Yes, there are scenarios which are difficult, that don't allow us to produce this belief. But you've got to continue to ask yourself, what is it I'm doing that is making sure there's a lack of confidence? Some lack of confidence has got nothing to do with you. Historically in South Africa, being black drove lack of confidence. That is something you can't control. But what you can control is important. That which you can control, use it to drive confidence. Some of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world were able to build big businesses. Jeff Bezos being one. He was able, because of his historic work ethic, his historic amount of discipline he showed, was able to convince his stepfather and his mother to invest $300,000 into their business. It is worth $1 billion today. They had confidence in him to give him their life savings. That is why we have Amazon today. He was able to convince 22 other people to invest in Amazon. They had confidence not just in the idea, but in Jeff himself. What is it that Jeff did that made them believe to that extent? The way he was, his character, his behavior drove that confidence. That confidence then drove investment. The similar thing happens across the world in all industries. That confidence drives investment. Yes, some confidence is it's nefarious. However, the point still remains that those individuals who are able to raise millions and billions of dollars have fulfilled the fundamental thing, confidence. Theranos was able to raise hundreds of millions of dollars because Elizabeth had driven confidence. Although it turned out that the product was a fraud, the bottom line was confidence drove the investment. And we can't ignore that fact. So what is the lesson for you? The lesson for you and me is simple. We need to manage our confidence and belief firstly in ourselves. We must believe we can do and say what we do and say. We must believe in ourselves first. If you don't know what to work on in terms of confidence, work on yourself first. Believe in you. Whatever it is that drives self-doubt, that drives lack of execution, that drives you to be a poor judge of character, that allows you to continually make the same mistakes over and over, address it so that you have confidence in yourself. And how is confidence built? By repeatedly doing difficult things. Learn an instrument, consistently go to gym, read a book a week, do something that's hard that convinces yourself that you're capable of doing great things. Once you have confidence in yourself, you can then project that confidence into your idea, into your business, into your project, because that is then what will drive people to believe in you. They will look at your work ethic, your presentation, your experience, your track record, your ability to build a team around you to achieve this goal and this idea. Those things enable you to then drive value. And that attracts investment. Is it simple? Yes. Is it easy? No. You will face a lot of hurdles. It will be a difficult struggle, but it's time for you to understand this simple principle. Confidence drives investment. Thank you for listening. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.